sentence, my love? Or are we done? That help? Think you can do that? I know you can do it. You're Pisces. Pisces women, we all have the gift. You have the gift. You can do this. How does your mom feel about that? Hi, Mom. Kathy, are you there? Okay. Well, I guess that worked. I guess that worked for Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks for calling. And we're going to get to our next caller. But first, I'm just going to say hi. Danielle. Oh, I love that name. Danielle,
Hi.
what a beautiful name. Hi. All right, my love, I'm so happy to hear your voice. So first I'm going to ask you to tell me when your birthday is, because that's how I like to connect to people. So when's your birthday?
Okay, it's October 19th.
Oh, great day. We love Libra. Yay. Oh, you're just a baby. Okay, my love. And it feels like to me, feels like you're a little scared to ask the question you really want to ask. But trust me, it's just between you and me. So what's the question you really want to ask?
I guess basically if my love is around and keeping an eye on me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Your love went to the other side?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. When was this? 2 years ago or recently?
Well, no, 4 years ago. On 4th of July, it was 4 years ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you mind if I ask he, she? I'm getting a he. Is that correct?
It's a he.
Yeah. Oh, I like him. What's his first name?
Shane.
I'm sorry, Change, did you say?
Shane. I'm sorry, it's Shane.
Oh, Shane. Oh, I love that name. It's a movie. Shane, come back, Shane. Literally. Oh, he's cute. Where are you calling from? Because I'm getting a cowboy vibe here. Are you calling from the West?
Yeah, I live in Ajo, Arizona. So I'm out west.
Oh, cool. Because I'm seeing him in a cowboy hat. He's like 5'9" or 5'10". Is that correct?
No, he's a little shorter. He's
okay.
like 5'5".
That's okay. Often when I get guys on the other side, they will lie to me about their height because they think they can get away with it. So yeah, okay. I got a little shorter, but when I asked him sort of psychically, he's like, "No, I'm 5'9".
Okay, he was a jokester though, but he was not anywhere near that.
Yes, and he is a jokester, and he's adorable. Does he have a dimple here?
Yes, very cute, but he knows it.
Yeah, he does know it. He still knows it.
Yes, he does.
Oh my God, you guys met in a really cute way, or something happened. The way you fell in love was really cute. There's some story behind that.
We knew each other when we were little kids, and he moved away.
Yeah, I got that.
And then we reconnected. We saw each other again. We weren't together for very long before he passed, but we reconnected again as adults.
That's a real true love feeling I'm getting there. He's got a very boyish.
Yes, he's my soulmate.
Really
I mean, we've been together many, many times. He's my soulmate.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes to that. Yeah, and somehow I got the kid connection, and I love that you guys met together. He was not expecting to go, so if he was like visibly in your vicinity for the next year after he passed, it's because he sort of didn't know what had happened. Is that correct?
That's what he told me. In one of my sessions, he said that he stuck around because of what it did to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. He's very apologetic. He's really grown a lot. And it's funny, I think he felt self-conscious because he didn't have as much education as his intelligence sort of wanted.
Yes.
On the other side, yeah, he's very smart though. Very funny.
Yes,
but
he was always very street smart and clever, but he just felt inferior because he was married before to someone else, and she kind of used that against him all the time.
Yeah, well, only really mean, insecure, sick people do that. So F her. Excuse me for saying that, but
No,
So I don't think he
exactly.
went to
That's what I
college.
think.
Yeah, yeah, not a
Yeah.
good person. Bit of a sociopath. Did he have 2 kids with her though?
He didn't have kids with her. He had kids with other people, and she just kind of like that. She wanted to dominate him. She wasn't very good to him. He was more like her property.
He does have kids. Okay, I'm getting 2 kids. So whoever that was with.
He
Oh, sorry.
has.
Sometimes
We didn't have children together, but he has
it's,
2 boys, and I have a boy and a girl. But he
oh,
considered my kids his kids.
maybe that's because I'm getting a boy and a girl and 2 kids. So maybe I'm picking up on that.
And then
we're not gonna
I
get
have
into-
2 grandbabies. I have 2 grandbabies that I watch over, and I think that's probably what he's showing you. They live with
Oh,
me.
he's
And
very much with him. One of her grandbabies, one's a little boy. Do you even
No,
name
they're
like
both
Rory or they're both girls? Okay. There's a really beautiful
they're
sort of
both girls.
old-fashioned name for one of them.
no, they actually have, well, one's Nevaeh and one's Nareli.
Oh, those are really pretty names. The first one is the one he's the most with. I don't think the second one is sort of speaking or anything yet, but they're adorable.
You know
Okay,
why?
go on.
Because I was given, like, they gave her to me like in foster care, the oldest one, and she was born with a very special syndrome. It's very rare, and so she had a lot of doctor's visits and stuff, and he was always there helping me because it was hard. It was a lot. We were very scared for her there at first, but she's doing really good now.
Yeah, she's got a long, happy, healthy life ahead of her. And I'm not just saying that to make you happy. I'm saying that because it's true. And she's
That's
really
great. I'm so glad.
Yeah, and I love that he did that. And he's sorry that he left earlier than he meant to. We've got 2 minutes, so I'm going to talk to him for a second. First of all, he wants to thank you. You made him feel complete. You made him feel like a real whole person. You respected him as well as loved him. He had never really gotten that kind of respect from almost anybody before. You made him feel. There's so much gratitude and so much love coming from him. Can I ask you, did he have kind of a baby face? Was he kind of a cutie?
Yes. Yes.
And dark hair? Did he have darker hair and kind of?
His hair
like
was
medium?
like a dark, well, it was darker brown, but he was very self-conscious about his hair, and he would always shave his head, and I hated it.
Oh no, because he looked so cute. He had bangs one time. I think that's really cute. We got about 30 seconds.
Yes.
What I'm gonna say is, he's very much with you, and he's wearing cowboy boots, wearing a cowboy hat, wearing a plaid flannel shirt, and he's got a t-shirt under it, and he's calling you kitten. No, it's not kitten. Hold on. I think he called you something like cutie a lot. I can't quite get it. And we've got about 30
it's
seconds.
because I'm a cat lady. My cat just had babies, and he's always talking about my kitties.
There we go. That's what it was. Thank you for that confirmation. I knew it was something. We love cat ladies around here. I'm a calico girl myself. He just says he's always. You can talk to him. He can help you with things. They love being given tasks to do. So you can say, hey, help me with this today. Because they can't volunteer. I'll get into it some other episode. But he's very much with you. And he loves you. And he's so grateful. You made his life complete. And I'm grateful as just a human being for you doing that. Thank you, my love.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Energy Reader Mariana with Mariana. Live from SoulCircle.vip.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Energy Reader Mariana
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I am completely unprepared tonight, but my name is Mariana, and I've had a heck of a day. I am here at least. So I think we'll just talk about something that I could talk about in my sleep, which is tarot. Let's see, what else? Before we get started with tarot, and I will be taking a caller tonight, I have an energy reading course coming up in September. So what is energy reading? I'm a psychic, I'm an evidential medium, I'm an evidential animal communicator, and a nonverbal communicator, all rolled up into one energy reader, and that is the way I teach it. So you get 4 modalities, 1 price. I had to get nickel and dimed a lot in order to learn those modalities, and I put together a class that I would have wanted to buy. That I would have, I'm a little bit frugal. So to get 4 modalities in 1 class is, there you go. I'm a little off tonight. All right, so let's just talk about tarot until we get a caller. One of the things about tarot is that there are some people who have different rules around tarot than other people do. You may or may not have heard, some people will say that they won't do a third-party reading. So what is a third-party reading? A third-party reading is when you have, let's say I am wanting information about a new man in my life, and I come to a psychic and I say, I want to know, does he like me? And the psychic says, oh, I can only ask questions about you. And that's a third-party reading, right? They consider that other person who isn't there to be the third party. I, however, have a completely different take on it because I like to be different, I guess. I say that if someone is in your energy, if someone is living in your house, if you pay the bills for someone, if there's someone within your soul circle, so to speak, then that person, the universe will and should give us answers about that person and how that pertains to you. So I do buck the tide on that a little bit, and I know others do too, and I agree with them as well, because it's kind of like getting half of a conversation at the water cooler at work. Very seldom does someone come into a conversation saying that they're the drama, but we all know that sometimes people are the drama. So when you ask the universe for, if it was me again, my side, plus the other person's side, if I'm the drama, I tell people, right? I think my third person got mixed up, but you probably understand. So if somebody comes to me and they're the drama, I very often can see that, and I will tell them that. But if the other person is not a good fit for them, I will tell them that as well. So that's one thing in tarot that some people do not like to do, something that I do. I actually feel like you don't have the whole story unless you're bringing in both energies. It's kind of a one-sided conversation, and you're only getting the side that makes the other person look good. All right, Jeanette in Seattle, come on in.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
What can I do for you today?
Are we able to do a connection with the loved one?
Yes, a passed over, so mediumship?
Everything? Yeah,
Yeah, what's the name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy?
Mm-hmm.
And just because we're short on time, just go ahead and give me the relationship so we don't have to guess.
He's my boyfriend.
Okay. And he is passed, correct? I just want to make sure that I'm getting the right
Correct.
info.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So hopefully, it's been a weird day. So if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. I'm always willing to be wrong. I would never want you to obviously say it fits if it doesn't. But I do get someone who is a bit of an adrenaline person. I get motorcycles, I get hiking, I get some, a little partying kind of a vibe. Does this make sense for your boyfriend, Jeremy?
Yes.
Okay, good. I thought you were about to say no. I was like, oh no. I also do get a non-traditionally handsome person. So I get like a mischievous person, but he would have considered himself non-traditionally handsome. But when you got to know him, you would be like, oh, he's cute. Does this make sense for him?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
Of course, you probably thought he was more handsome.
exactly. So I'm like, no, that
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Because he comes through, and it could just be that he's humble as well, because he comes through very much kind of being hard on himself, going, well, I wasn't that good looking, but I sure was funny. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I do feel fairly tragic and quick as far as a passing. And I do feel like there were some questions that were left unanswered as far as a passing. Does this make sense for you?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Very
Is there
so.
a question you would like me to try to answer?
Um, I don't. I guess I wasn't really super prepared for the call, but pretty much, um, I mean, did he make it? Because today's actually his 2 month anniversary, death anniversary. So I just want to know if he's okay and if he's,
Did he like make it
you
to the other
know,
side?
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's a hoot. He's coming through loud and clear. He's absolutely on the other side. Would you understand his mom is still here and alive?
This is what?
Would you understand that his mother is still on earth and alive?
Yes.
His mother. He brings up his mother
Yeah.
and he brings up you, and he says that there's going to be some sort of a little celebration, some sort of a little you guys have a little something planned. Does this make sense?
Mm, we're planning something, but it's still not fully written out yet.
Yes, that's yes, yes. So I freaking love it. He's enjoying it as much as he can. He said, obviously, I would rather be here, and he's like regretful that he isn't here, but he is full and happy on the other side, and he's doing some. I want to say these are dance moves, but I'm not exactly sure. But he's very like limber. If there was any, I feel like there were some limitations in life, but I'm not fully understanding if those were mental or physical. And he's coming through like they're gone. Like I'm all me again. I'm all one piece. I'm all mental. I'm all here. Hanging out with you guys as much as I can. His energy's with you. There was never a question. So when you come to me, I don't have any low or high vibrational stuff. In my opinion, we all get to the other side and we go through a life review and we hang out with you in energy and spirit. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I haven't been too well this week. So he's very much
Oh, I'm sorry.
all there. Oh,
Okay.
excuse me. Let me take a little drink of water real fast.
Yeah, go for it.
So he does bring up this celebration. He also does bring up that you are a very huge support to his mother right now. That might be opposite, but I feel like you're the one that's a huge support to mom. Does that make sense for you?
I I don't know. Like I'm still so shocked, I don't know if she's helping me or if I'm helping her, but we have each other and, you know, I try not to
He's
make it harder
super
for her. She tries.
he's very into that, and he just wants to say thank you because his mom he also shows me that he was a bit of a little bit of a butthead from time to time, but his mom was incredibly important to him, and obviously you were as well. And he just they always send love and hugs and all of that kind of stuff. And then he does bring up school, so I'm not sure if he left a child behind or if you go to school or thinking about going to school.
Oh my God. I was just talking to a friend of mine today. She asked me because he took my son to school every day, and she just asked me that exact question today, who's going to be taking my son to school from now on. So that's crazy. So he must have heard me
That's
talking
well,
about that.
First of all, I'm covered in chills. So he's a very good communicator from the other side. He's actually having quite a bit of fun as well, because I don't think he would have believed in someone like me very much. I think he would have been somewhat skeptical. Would that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So he does bring up the school. He does bring up the child. He does bring up, to me, this is just a really great example of how much he's really with you and hanging out with you, and that his energy still surrounds you. Now, he also says life is for the living, and he would never want you to forget that, because he says obviously it's very short timing, but down the road you'll need to move on, and you should never ever worry about what he's going to think. And so he just wants to throw that out there really fast in case we don't get to talk again someday. You and I, not him and you. You can talk to him all the time. He hears you. Literally, he hears you.
Literally, he does. So I'm not
Yes.
just talking to myself. Everything
No.
I say, he can hear.
In fact, what that is you doing your own mediumship, because they don't narrate the voice in Sam Adams, right, or Samuel Jackson. They have conversations with you, and it's in your own voice. And so you feel like you're going crazy a little bit, but these are mediumship conversations. Those are real.
Okay. That's really good to know, because sometimes, I feel like I'm just talking to myself, and I just feel like he's not here, but I know he is.
Absolutely. And I hate to cut you off, but I only have a short show, and I want to thank you for sharing him with me today. I encourage you, follow up with me on email if you would like to. For anyone else, this was mediumship. That's the evidence. That's the message. The message was kind of worked in, right, with the mom and the celebration and the son and the school. You can find me again at soulcircle.vip, like very important people. And I just want to thank you again for sharing your boyfriend with me, Jeremy, with me. He did a very good job, and so did you. So thank you.
Thank you.
You're all right.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Medicine for Your Spirit with Raylene Byrne. Raylene Byrne. Live from RayleneByrne.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Medicine for Your Spirit
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Namaste, everybody. This is Raylene Byrne, Medicine for Your Spirit. I woke up today and it was like, okay, what beautiful wisdom wants to flow through me today and for me to share or offer or suggest. And I pulled a card, and the card that came out was from Rebecca Campbell's new deck, the Water Oracle, and it was this one, Let It Rain. And straight away, I started to think of Greece, what's going on over in Greece, the horrendous fires. And here where I am in Australia, we have really bad bushfires as well. So I know what it's like. So this morning or this evening, as a collective in this beautiful group where we're all looking for deeper spiritual understandings and soul connections, let's all just pause for a moment and really connect into our hearts, just closing our eyes, and that sense of breathing in and knowing that that light that we are is in everybody else. And from our hearts, we want to send a beautiful wave of peace to Greece, the people of Greece who are really having a hard time right now. The islands are on fire, it's skipped to the mainland. We want to offer peace to all the beings there. And I'd really like us all in our heart to set the intention that the rains come. Let it rain. Let the blessings of the universe, of Source, of God, of Mother Mary, of the Ascended Masters, allow them to let the rain fall. So let's just take a couple of breaths and set that intention that the rain falls over Greece where the fires are to bring peace and relief to the people and the country. Thank you. When we do something as a collective, it amplifies the energy and potentizes it. So just a small blessing like that, or a small understanding, or even just through the day, a moment of sending love or blessings or peace or calm or relief to places where there is hardship, worries, struggle. It's a beautiful gift that we add to the collective. And the more that people do that, the more that situations can change. We are all connected. Our human family is our family. So when we take time to consider the hardships others are going through, and we send blessings and love and peace, we are showered with it as well in our own life. We are connecting to something greater. So having said that, thank you for joining me, those who did. I'd like to welcome Shannon. I've got Shannon from Indianapolis here who has a question for me. Let's see if I can help you, Shannon. What can I do for you?
Hello.
Hi, Shannon.
This is Joe.
Joe?
Yes.
Sorry. Are you there, Joe?
Yes, I am here.
Is there what can I help you with? What is there that I can support you with, perhaps, or give you some guidance?
I'm looking like I guess a medium.
Oh, you want someone who connects with someone on the other side?
Yes.
No, I don't do that. I'm very much around, we can do that ourselves by tuning in, by coming into our own heart and taking a few breaths and then inviting that energetic presence to connect with us, and we can communicate that way. But I don't do mediumship. I could be the wrong person for you. I'm sorry about that, but I'm more about empowerment, what we can do to grow our soul, how we can show up in life being the best that we can. So I'm sorry, but I could pull a card for you if you like.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's see. This is for Joe. Let me just see what we've got here. Oh, so this one's come out. Perseverance. This is about perseverance. This is about one foot in front of the other. So I'm not sure what your issue is, but this message is all about just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Don't stop. When we stop, it's really very difficult to get moving again, and we'll often distract ourselves, so we don't. We'll give ourselves reasons, we'll judge, we'll criticize ourselves to not keep moving or not take those steps forward. Perseverance allows us to keep unraveling one step at a time. We just keep moving. And right now, Joe, on the planet, there is such huge transformational energy. It's massive, and it's getting really intense, very, very intense. And it feels like we're being compressed. One of the things we have to remember with this is this particular month that we're about to step into, August, is a really big month for us to start looking at the things that are important in our life, our relationships, our soul expression. So I don't like using the word career because sometimes people do things they don't really want to do, and that's fine, but the best way to express our soul, and how we're showing up every day. So we've got this big month of August where the energy is getting even more intense, and what will be showing up are the things that are no longer relevant for us. And we're going to have to start making big decisions around how we grow and how we move forward. And we're going to have to let things go, like really start to let things go. Now, I don't know if this is helpful for you, but we've just come through this incredible dawning of a new galactic year, which happened on July the 26th, only a few days ago. It's the start of the Mayan calendar. Now, I have a really, really powerful ritual to set yourself up for the rest of this new galactic year. If you want it, send me an email and I'll send it to you. It's very powerful. It doesn't cost anything, but you can really set yourself up. We're right at the very start of this new energy, and it's a very big next 360-day dance around the sun, around our own empowerment, our own magic, our own soul expression. It's going to be a very, very big 12 months for everyone. And the energies at the moment going on the planet are trying to push us to realize that we are all here for a reason, that each one of us matters. Everything we are doing, we have agreed to experience, and we still have to bring ourselves forward even more. So if you're interested, drop me an email at admin@raylanebyrne.com, and I'll send it to you if you want it. You don't have to. So for you at the moment, it really is about looking at whatever you're doing, looking at how can you persevere. There's a big difference between being stubborn and perseverance. Perseverance is a level of determination. Stubbornness is a level of being stuck. So persevere one step at a time, one day at a time, one heartbeat at a time, one intention at a time, one thought at a time. And if you're present with that, many, many things can start shifting and changing in your life. And that's a really beautiful way forward. I hope you can get to speak to a medium who might be able to connect to whoever it is that you're wanting advice from or connecting with on the other side. As I said, that's not my gig. So I hope whatever I've been able to tell you was helpful. And please, if you've got any other questions, please let me know.
Okay. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So for anyone else who's listening, the offer goes out to you too. We've got another 3 or 4 days if you want to receive this ritual. It's very potent. You're working with the eye of creation. It's from the day out of time. So we're just in the very early days of this new galactic year. So please drop me a line at admin@raylanebyrne.com and I will send that ritual to you from my heart as a gift. Because I'm very, very passionate about everybody over this next 12 months, especially bringing their soul expression to life, because the world needs you. It needs us. It needs us to be cooperative and collaborative and hold hands to move through all this icky stuff that's going down. We can't get distracted by it anymore. We've got to get on with who we are, and we've got to offer what we've got in ourselves. We've got to bring it through. So I hope that is helpful for people. So yes, and as the message for Joe was perseverance, it's a really important message for us all, actually. So thank you, Joe, for getting me to pull a card. It's a really good lesson for all of us to remember that every day we just need to persevere with who we are. Whatever's showing up is showing us more of that. It's showing us our resilience, or it's showing us what we need to learn. It's showing us what we need to experience or what we need to share. Perseverance is a beautiful quality to live with. It's not hard. It's not really hard. It's an energetic movement. And it means that we're being true to ourselves. And perseverance often is being present to the moment. I remember when I did the Inca Trail in Machu Picchu a few years ago, and we got to a point, it was so steep and it was so hard and I was so tired, and it was at high altitude, so hard to breathe. And I looked at this last 150 meters of big rocks to get to the top, and all I kept thinking was one rock at a time, one rock at a time. And I just focused on each one, and I got to the top and the view was amazing. And I took in that breath. And it was just this, wow. And I looked down and went, oh my God, I actually did it one step at a time. So we often need to look at things in life that way. There could be a really big challenge in front of you, but just take one step towards it, into it, through it. And then the next one, and then the next one. And then you look back one day and go, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I had that in me. I now know what I'm capable of. That's the beauty of perseverance. And it also builds our resilience. So that's it from me for this week. That's Medicine for Your Spirit from Raylene Byrne. So grateful to be here. So grateful to share with you. And as I said at the start, if you can take a moment, a couple of moments each day to send some beautiful, powerful intentions to places around the world, like Greece at the moment that's really suffering, Ukraine, anywhere that around the world that is suffering, send some love, intention, peace and relief just from your own heart. It all matters and it all counts. Thank you so much. I will see you next week. Medicine for Your Spirit is my thing. Let's find it within ourselves, because you all are it. Bye for now.
This is my second time back. Hopefully you guys can follow me Thursdays, every Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time and 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Today I decided I'd talk less about myself, even though I've got so many amazing stories, but I thought I would take more callers to help more people out. So anybody that needs psychic or mediumship, go ahead and call in. Now's your chance. Got to learn to read these chat bars. Something popped up, but no name. Let me see. But yes, I'm ready to take calls. I'd like to focus on that, helping people today instead of talking about myself and being the crazy comedian I am. Is anybody there waiting? Okay. I can't tell. I popped up the chat bar, so maybe that'll help me. I'll start looking at it. But yes, I am a certified international medium, psychic medium. And I've had the gift since I can remember, very young, but I started putting it into practice when I went through my own loss in 2019. That's when I came out of the closet and said, I don't care who judges me, because religions tend to judge me and say it's bad. But every time I finish with a sitter, a human, I get nothing but thank yous and appreciate your service. And so I know I'm doing the right thing. And so I've been doing it now since I got certified. I got more brave and more brave and more brave. And now I'm doing radio. I actually went on to my business Facebook page and did 3 hours live with just names in the chat bar last week. That was so upset. Hi, Suzanne.
Hello.
Hi, Suzanne. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So you're in, it looks like I'm reading, I don't know too much about geography, but I see it says Georgia.
Yes.
So you're calling this evening. Were you looking for psychic or mediumship? I feel like it's psychic.
Yeah, just something more like in general. We're looking into possibly doing some modifications on the home and things like that, or just anything in general, career-wise or whatever.
Yeah, less is more. The less you tell me, the better the only thing I like is like yes and no's to lead me in the right direction, but I kind of felt like you wanted more of a psychic reading than mediumship. So I will delve right into that. You helped me out a little bit, darn it. But so you're spending money on a lot of home improvements at the moment. And you wanted to know if you were making the correct decisions. Do you really want the truth? Do you want my opinion? Do you want the answer to that?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
And I have your I know. Sometimes it's hard though. And I have your approval to connect with the divine, the other side, to help you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, I am inclined to tell you not to spend too much money on, how do you say, redecorating, upgrading your home. I feel like you're doing it because you maybe want to upgrade to another home and you feel like you'll get more money out of your home by doing this.
Okay. Maybe a little bit.
Okay. So the market right now is really good. And I feel like there's more inventory than there is for sale just because of interest rates. So now I'm talking business. But I would say if you're really, spirit's going through my nose. Whenever I do that, it's not gross. It's nothing weird. It's just spirit. When your nose, it knows. I would say that if you're really wanting something modern, I would encourage you not to maybe waste that money and just put your house up for sale. You'll probably get more than you think you'll get anyway. And then you can literally pick what you want and all those specific things. I feel like it might be a waste of money that you don't need to waste. Does that help you at all?
Okay. It does.
Okay. What else would you like me to go into? I feel like your relationship is already, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the chat bar. I don't feel like we have, okay, hold on. Okay, trying to read the chat bar and go very quick. But I have 5 minutes left with you. So do you have any specific questions? Because I feel like your relationship is very steady and strong. I don't feel like there's any issues there. I feel like you have kids, but I feel like they're really not kids anymore. I feel like they're more grown up. Can you hear me?
Sorry, yeah, you broke up just a little bit.
Oh shoot, where did I lose you?
But no,
What did
they
you
are.
want?
They are. That they're not grown up. They are.
Yes, that's what I said. So I feel like I feel like you have kids, but they're not really kids. They're grown up. So maybe that's where we got cut off. So I'm correct.
And you're still cutting out. Just.
Oh, I don't know why that connection. Okay, I'm sorry if we're breaking up though, dear. But I'll just try to talk loud and hopefully it goes on. But yeah, so I feel like your kids, you have children, I'll say, but they're grown up, so they're not young kids. I feel like your relationship is good as well. So there's nothing to talk about in that category. I feel like maybe this reconstruction you're doing on the home is also kind of like a hobby thing, but I just would rather see you maybe just save the money, sell, and move into something you can pick that is already the way you like it.
Okay.
Does that help? And ask me or tell me where you want me to rewind or.
No, I moved into another part of the house so I can hear you better. So I'm actually outside now. So I can hear you better now. I don't have the best reception here sometimes. So, but no, I understand what you're saying, you know, and we don't know if we want to move yet. And I think that's why we're just kind of doing the upgrades, because we're not quite sure. Because if we're going to stay, we want to do it, you know, because we like where we're at. We just don't know where we're going yet.
So really,
you know?
I guess I would want to encourage you to really talk about it and think about it. Because I'm feeling like I'm hearing the number 45,000, and I'd rather see you wait and really talk about it and make sure, and not down the line end up selling and not really getting, because you can get your money out right now, and more than you think you can get, you'll get. Right. So you could move into what your dream is, you know, unless you really love being in this location. But I think that I feel like it's more of a hobby. Does that make sense?
I don't know if it's more of a hobby, but I think it's more needed in just one part of the house, not the entire house. So I think once we get that done, then the rest would be hobby.
Yeah. So just, you know, I don't know if the 45,000 rings a bell with you, but that's a lot of money. So just want to encourage you to really think and make sure, because you guys could easily get your money and more than you think right now and move into what you want. Now, hit me with your next question or any question you have, because I want to get it all for you.
No, I understand. I appreciate that. Maybe my career path and then my husband's.
Well,
Or either one, whatever you're leaning more towards.
No, I'm just thinking about it, both of it. So are you 39?
No, I wish I was. I wish I was 39.
What? Because I'm hearing 39. So does that mean anything to you or him?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. So I would say, like, both of you have been in the same career. I feel like you both have been in the same career most of your life. And 60 seconds. I feel like you've been in the same career most of your life. And at this point, I probably wouldn't recommend switching into something totally new unless it's what you love.
Okay.
But I think for the stability I would stay, both of you, in what you're doing, because I feel like it's what you know and it's what you've both been doing for a very long time. So it's going to be better for your retirement unless there is something that you want to pursue that you really love.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Soul to Soul with Medium Kelly Kristen. Live from MediumKellyKristen.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Soul to Soul
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Soul. I am your host, Medium Kelly Kristen, and it is amazing to be here with you tonight. I hope everyone is having a great week and staying cool. I am in Central California, and it's a little bit hot here. It's like 102, so I hope you're doing better than I am. I feel like I've tried to explain this miserably in the past, but how I prepare for my show. I don't like to write down something that's kind of rote. I kind of just wait for to see if I see synchronicities and something that kind of, hits my heart. And so that's how I chose my topic tonight. So my topic tonight is something that I've been seeing synchronicities with. Is trauma-informed psychic mediumship, healing, spiritual healing, kind of a spiritual counseling. And I'll explain what I mean about that. The first thing is I took a trauma-informed healing psychic medium class with a colleague of mine. And while I do have, quite a bit of knowledge about this topic due to my previous teaching with incarcerated youth and at-risk youth, there's always something more to learn. And I'm so glad I went, because that's when I started noticing the synchronicities in my mediumship with this, I guess you would call it spiritual counseling, spiritual healing with trauma. So I always start my readings by saying I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I can't give medical advice, all those good things. But I started noticing that my clients were saying things like, this feels like therapy, this feels like counseling, when can I schedule another session? And that's normally when I would say, oh, I'm not a doctor, I don't have a credential. But I stopped saying that because it's not me who's doing this soul counseling, it's spirit. And it's the people who have loved ones in spirit. And so I don't want to discredit them. It's coming from them. So that's a way that I changed my thinking on that. It's a soul connection where the soul is saying, I hear you. I know what you're going through. And of course, they're speaking to the human, and the human part of us is the part that has trouble with all of this, right? It's hard, but also knowing that we have our loved ones in spirit who also are there to help us with difficult situations. I had a father come through the other day, and he told his daughter, remember when this happened before, remember what you did, do the same thing again. Or he said, I'm here with you, and I'm here to support you. And He said, use your communication skills. That's your superpower. So just having that validation from our loved ones in spirit, almost like that counseling session. I'm really enjoying that. I'm really actually like I'm the one sitting back and observing all this happening between spirit and my client. And sometimes it's not always great news. Sometimes I feel like, oh, it's going to be a minute before this person's able to turn the corner. But what I found is the healing comes from the messages they receive. And I think there's something to that. So that's just, I mean, I could talk about this for about 3 days, but I'm going to spare you on that. If you're interested in finding out more about this, I do talk about this in classes I teach, and you can find me under my social media under Medium Kelly Kristen, all social media, Kelly with a Y, Kristen IN. I would love to hear from you. Maybe tonight this will resonate with our caller, and we'll have to see. But speaking of caller, we have Angela from Brooklyn, New York. Is that right, Angela?
Yes, I am.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. Things are kind of crazy around me, but I'm okay.
Oh, good to hear it. Yeah, I think it's a crazy time for everybody. I'm going to New York next month, so I'm excited about that.
There's no place like New York.
Isn't it fabulous? I love it. What did you have something in mind for what kind of reading you want? Do you have questions for me? What were you looking for?
Well, basically, I've been going through a difficult period financially and emotionally. My husband passed away 8 years ago, and since then, it's just a matter of a lot of pressure, stress, and I don't seem to get a break. And when you try one thing, it seems like 3 steps forward, and 5 steps back. So I seem to keep falling in that pattern, and I just want you to see anything changing.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is funny. This is exactly what I've been talking about, or what I was talking about prior to you coming on. I've been hearing this so much about this feeling like you're making progress and then you're back to square one, right? Part of my theory is that it was this, COVID. I mean, that had something to do with it. We had all that isolation for 3 years or whatever, however long it was. But I also feel like, as I feel into your soul, I feel like you have this, beautiful, bright, shiny light. But at the same time, I feel like it's needs to almost be like cleaned off a little bit, like, shined up a little bit, because not that you've allowed anything to accumulate on it. It's just like been accumulating on its own. And it's really just a metaphor for what I'm trying to explain to you. There is, I do see things changing for you in every category you just mentioned. And I do feel like this is coming like before the end of the year. So you mentioned physically, emotionally, financially, correct? And that your husband passed.
Yes.
All these things are those layers that I'm talking about that almost, I don't want to say dim your light, but I feel like you had this beautiful, bright, bright light, and that's just kind of what happened. It's kind of been added on to layer after layer. So I feel like working on one of these things one step at a time, I really feel like a lot of the physical and emotional is almost that feeling of like where why bother, why exercise, why eat right, why, do all the things I know are good for me if it's not going to, if I'm just going to go back to where I am. And I feel like that is compounding also a little bit on your health And again, I'm not a doctor, right? But I feel like if you could try one more time to make the outlook one of being positive, I really feel like there's a change coming for you in that way. Now, on the physical part of it, am I right that it's something that no matter what you do, you would still have physical issues?
Well, I think it's more emotional because
Oh,
and
emotional.
basically, yeah, because like I exercise, I'm not in
Okay.
bad physical condition.
Okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. Okay. I just feel like it is the emotional part, right? I feel like it's not the physical, besides eating right and exercising. So the emotional part, I also feel like that same thing where I wonder if you've been isolating a little tiny bit. And I wonder if it's hard to find someone to connect with and talk about your feelings, someone who's been in the same situation as you. So not a friend who is like your best friend who hasn't been in the same situation. So would you understand what I mean by that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so finding somebody, and I don't know if that's going to be easy or hard, but finding somebody who knows what you're emotionally going through. And maybe you do have a best friend already that you can talk about this to. But that almost feels like that makes your light a little bit shinier and brighter. The financial, I feel like financially things have been hard on just about everybody. But I do, are you thinking about retiring or do you?
Well, I am retired.
Okay.
I am retired.
Okay.
I'm thinking about downsizing the house.
Okay. Because I felt like, almost like don't worry about money after you retire. I understand the worry, but I feel like things will work out. And I actually, when you said downsizing, that feels good. I feel like less is more. And I feel like actually putting in some travel with that. So you might be saying, where am I going to get the money to travel? But I feel like it's not almost where you travel, it's what you do while you're traveling. So it could be somewhere in New York, a day trip. This feels very good. And we're almost out of time. I'm so sorry, but do you have something else you want me to, did I miss something?
No. That was good. Thank you so much.
Okay, because I do want to say your husband steps in and wants to let you know that he's absolutely fine and that I don't know if this means anything to you, but he's working his magic. And I almost feel like he actually is someone who has had good luck. And I feel like he's going to be sending that to you. And he wants to give you a big hug and kiss. And I'm so sorry we're out of time. But thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks for calling in tonight. Oh, thank you. Bless you. And the rest of you, I will see you next week. And have a great week.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for Soul Tea with Marie, with Antoinette Marie. Antoinette Marie. Live from AntoinetteMarie.net.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Soul Tea with Marie
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to Soul Tea with Marie. I have Lisa Marie with me tonight. But first, I just want to say, as always, you can find me at AntoinetteMarie.net if you would like a reading. I am a medium. I am an intuitive. I know I haven't done any lately. I did the channeling last week, but I do readings. And you can find that at AntoinetteMarie.net. Or I think I have a few on Etsy if you like tarot card readings. And then if you just want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, you can go to Instagram, which is Soul Tea with Marie, or on my Facebook page, which is the same. So, okay, my guest is coming from Denmark. She is awake at 3 a.m. to bring you her story. So I want to get her up and going, and I'm thrilled to have her. She has a warrior's journey. She had a spiritual awakening. She has this beautiful painting behind her that she did that represents who she is now. She went from being homeless to going to college, and well, I'll let her tell you her story. So this is Lisa Marie from Denmark with a very beautiful, beautiful Irish accent. Hi, hello.
Hello.
Are you awake?
I think I'm awake. So where should I start? Do you want me to just?
Well, I want to, and I'm going to bounce around, but I love the painting behind you. Can you describe the painting, and then we'll go backwards a little bit?
Yes. So the painting was a vision that I got back in December of me basically woven back together with gold. And then as I was painting the piece, I seen myself with feathers on the top of my head, and I call it the rite of passage. And also kintsugi. So it's like this Japanese idea where whenever a bowl gets broken and they put it back together with gold, and the painting is a representation of how I did that for myself, really.
So
that I was put back together like in a new way, in a better way, really.
Got it. So you were broken at first. Can you go a little bit into that, or how that began for you?
Yeah, so when I went to Australia in 2011, and I had always been getting visions and painting them, but I didn't know that I was like a psychic artist. And then I met many people who told me that I was a psychic artist, and then I started to do that, like for people as they would come to me, I would paint things for them. But then when I went home to Ireland, my family weren't really happy with the fact that I had become spiritual and when I wasn't so religious anymore. So I became estranged from my family. A lot of different things happened, and then I ended up like having nowhere to live. So I got a tent, and I lived in a tent for 3 months, and I ended up in a couple of like abusive relationships, and I finally got away from those, and I got therapy, and I got help in a woman's aid shelter, and then I started doing my master's, and then I recently got a scholarship to do a PhD. So I would say that's the journey that I went from literally having lost everything to just putting myself back together from the inside out, because I really went from in the inside. I did a lot of inner work.
Absolutely. I want to go back a little bit. You had said that you became estranged from your family. Was that because you went in a spiritual route? Were they very traditional, very religious, and they just they didn't accept what you were becoming or who you became? I guess it's more of what you were becoming.
very much so. I didn't think I had changed as much as I had changed. So I came back, and after those 2 years, I had become a very different person. And um, a lot of things my mum had said, like that, that's evil, and things like very religious.
What did she think was evil? What was it?
She thought mediumship was evil, and she thought that the people I was talking to and associating with, that they weren't of God, really, and that I had become very negative and selfish, and so a lot of that confused me, because I'd always been very close to my mum. I'd always been very close to my family. So whenever I was no longer accepted for the new version I had become, then I just didn't feel loved, and then I had nowhere to live, really. So yeah, I very much a sort of Irish traditional Catholic family is what I was raised in, and I had broken free from that, and I didn't know that that wasn't going to be acceptable until it happened, if you know what I mean.
I do. Do you know if you had or do you remember having any of your gifts when you were younger, like a child? Were you talking to spirit or seeing things, or anything happened that gave you an inclination that you were going to go on a spiritual path?
I remember when I was 7 that it's going to sound weird, but I felt like I could hear all the voices in the world talking at the one time, like everyone's thoughts. I felt like I could hear all of them. And then I think I shut it down, because I didn't really understand what it was. But in terms of the fact that I became a psychic artist, like, really, no, I had no clue that was going to happen to me. I was always very artistic. I was always somebody who loved to make art, but to think that I was going to get visions one day and paint them like that, I did not see that coming. So a lot of times I will see things in my mind's eye, and I will translate that into art. And yeah, I really do. And I had no real guidance, just that my mum, even though she was also very religious, she would always teach me things about spirituality, which sounds very strange, but I feel like she was meant to teach me those things. I remember her telling me that a whole soul is both masculine and feminine, and I was like 4 when she told me that. Things like that. I know it sounds really weird, because she also was in, and she used to have all these books on spirituality that I used to read when I was a teenager. So I sort of feel like I was meant to go that direction, and she was meant to be my guide. But to be a psychic artist was just, there was not really anything that was telling me that one day that I would become that.
So it sounds like your mother was very tapped into the spiritual world, yet she chose a very religious path and just didn't open herself up to it.
Yeah, I would say that she's been the biggest influence in my life in terms of spirituality and everything, and we've always had really great talks. But that I would say, we've had talks recently again, because now we actually are speaking, and she's more open to the likes of tarot, and she would say things to me like, you were right, and we are all gods, like God, because I believe like we all have this Christ consciousness. I believe we all have access to that. It's not like, I don't believe we should put people on a pedestal, and it's like, for example, Jesus is put on a pedestal and people see it as like that's not obtainable. But for me, Jesus was just a very enlightened being, and we all have that ability to reach. Whereas like my mum's view would be that Jesus was just he was not of this world, and that I believe we are we are able to get as equal to Jesus in terms of enlightenment, but we just have to work with that. So she's opened up to some of those things that I think now, whereas for a long time she was very closed to it. So the time that we've been apart and we weren't talking for many years, I feel like it really did make her more open eventually, which is actually really nice to see.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. A lot of times, families, they stay estranged. With my own family, I am still estranged. I'm not going to say what religion it is, but I was trying to think of a word that wouldn't give them away. I'll just say it. People might figure it out. I was shunned when I was young. When I was around 18 to 25, I tried to keep going back to that religion, and I couldn't do it. The calling was too great. And I didn't really have my spiritual awakening yet, but I did a few years then after.
Wow.
No, but yeah, I haven't talked to my family really at all. When I was 18, they all walked away. So I get it. I'm glad to know though that she is back in your life. So let
Yeah.
me ask you, you had said that you started painting psychic paintings now. So how did the first one come about? How did that happen?
I remember I left I have a degree in advertising and marketing, and I worked there for 6 months, and I decided to leave and become an artist. And then I started to just paint things that I felt, and then I remember I
Well,
painted.
let me ask you, you said you left this job to be an artist.
Yeah.
Were you always an artist, or was it something that just came to you? Were you having a spiritual awakening and you realized I have to paint or I have to do something creative?
I was always creative. I always made art. So I was doing that since I was very young, and I did it. I studied it at school, and I was one of the top students in Northern Ireland within art. So my art went around Northern Ireland when I was a teenager, and the school bought a piece of my work. But the thing is, was the kind of artist that did landscapes and pets, and I was like literally I used to do physical things that I seen. So it
Mhm.
wasn't really until when I decided to launch out as an artist, because I had a launch in Belfast, and I was in all the papers, and which I believe was meant to be. I was meant to be that public about it. What happened was I started to paint things. That's when it was called the Path to Inner Peace. Actually, it was about spirituality, but initially I thought it was religious because I was still religious at that point. I didn't really understand. I remember one of the first pieces that I felt that I was being guided when I created it. I was Jesus on the crucifix,
Oh.
and I felt like somebody was guiding my hand, and that's when I started to be like, right, this is a religious thing, you know. And then I would get songs. I would hear, "He will raise you up on eagle's wings," and I would paint this piece with a person with the wings of an eagle. So
Oh.
that happened like not long after I decided to be an artist. I probably 6 months after. I started to get these things I would see in my mind's eye, and I would hear songs, and I would get messages, and I would be told what they were. But again, because religion was all that I knew, I thought that it was something to do with religion,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. So when did you realize that it was more than just that you were actually was a guide, or it was Jesus, or someone was actually drawing with you?
That was what 6 months after I knew that there was that I was working with different. I didn't know there were different guides at the time, but I knew that the somehow God or the universe was with me, that I was co-creating it somehow, that it wasn't just about me, it was about something bigger than me. Like I felt that quite within 6 months. And then eventually I realized that it was my calling, that it was my gift, but it took me about 7 more years to figure it out. I went to Australia, and then I met people who, because I used to get the names of the paintings, and then I went to Australia, and I went to a crystal shop, and this woman looked through my brochure, and she said, "Oh, come look at this card deck." And then I went, and the person had similar names to what I had named my paintings. And then I got freaked out, and I was like, okay, what's going on? And then they were saying, "Oh, you're a channel for the universe with your art." And then I started to really, my mind started to open. And then this woman, she invited me to her wedding, and then there I met a medium, and she told me that you will sit with people and you will paint for them. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. This sounds like something that would be me. And 2 days later, somebody came up to me and asked me to make them something. And then it just sort of, it kind of took on a life on its own since then.
So what is it that you see when you're painting for someone? Is it their aura, their energy, their chakras? What is it that you're tapping into exactly?
I mean, I always say it's kind of like their soul essence. It's sort of like I will get either a vision of something, or as I'm painting, something will sort of unfold. Because I've painted people's angels, I've painted people's animal totems as well, and sometimes just people's what I would call like soul essence. So I've had many people ask me for different things.
So do you see the angels that are behind them or beside them, or the animal totems? Do you actually see
No,
that?
I don't see it with the person. No, because also then initially I started to paint with people, but then actually what happened was I started to do it over distance. So I used to do a lot of pieces from I've sent my work all over the world. So then people will ask me, and then I will just sit with their energy, and then I will see an image. Like one time I seen an image of a horse, and then I painted a horse, and then this woman told me that she'd loved horses all her life. But
Wow.
I didn't know that, and then I remember this other woman a few years ago, she asked me to paint for her and her son, and they painted a phoenix and a tiger, and she said she'd been wanting to get a phoenix tattoo for years. So it's that kind of thing that happens, that I have to really trust the process. And also when I've painted people's personal angels, there's a woman I met online, and she always gets me to paint for her grandchildren. And then I get the name, I get the image, and then I get the name, and then I'll probably get a message, and then the person will usually confirm that I was right about what I channeled, but it's still sometimes I doubt it, and then it happens, and then the person will say, "Oh yeah, I've always loved that," but it's sort of not necessarily like seeing it with the person. It's weird. It's like it's the minute I pick up a paintbrush, something happens. It's strange that it's true art, but it's like the minute I pick it up and I hand it over and I pray about it, and then I just let whatever comes through, and it's usually the thing the person really needs to see that comes
Mm.
through.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I can say that you're definitely tapping into something, because I'm not going to say what it is, because I may have you paint something for me, but you did tap into something of my guides as you were talking, and I thought that was interesting. So you definitely have a gift, my friend, 100%.
Oh wow.
Which I knew that before, but it's just kind of neat how it transpires so quickly. Um,
Wow, nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was neat. So how did you go from being estranged from your family, homeless, to then here you are about ready to get a PhD? How did that happen? How did that occur? So obviously that was part of like the dark night of the soul, really.
Yeah.
You're shedding your skin and the layers of the onion.
Right. It's crazy. It's been a journey, man. So 5 years ago, and that's the other thing I should say. When I was in Australia, I used to go to a place called Denmark, and then I got the download that I was going to one day live in Denmark. So that's the other thing that happened to me.
Mhm.
So then when I was I lived in a tent for 3 months. Then me and my boyfriend at the time, we finally got out of that situation. We were living in a house, and he was a very angry guy. So I ended up trying to get away from him, and I ended up in a homeless shelter. And then that night I was there, I felt like I was surrounded by people that they really didn't have good mental health. I had already been doing a lot of inner work, so even though I was in a homeless shelter, my mental health was actually quite strong in a way. So I decided the next morning I was going to go to the library and get a work away, get out of Ireland. I needed to get out, and so I signed up for work away. I remembered I was going to live in Denmark, and I looked for a community in Denmark. And when I found the place I was meant to go, I got chills up my body. I was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to go. So I took all the money I had, and I booked a one-way ticket to Denmark. And I came here with £100 to my name, and I didn't know anyone. I didn't even know in Denmark that they spoke English. I didn't know anything. I just came, and then I lived in this community for a while, and then I met then my next boyfriend, who asked me to come and live with him, and he would help me get a job. And then when I was with him, I didn't know he had anger issues, but I figured it out pretty quick. But at that point, I was isolated. I didn't have anyone. And then during the time I was there, some of the people I had met in the community, one of the girls told me that you could get paid to study in Denmark. It sounds really random, but I was always really good at school, and I always imagined one day I'd go back to school. So I applied to do my master's, and I got accepted. And I knew that my plan was actually that the money I was going to get from doing the master's, I would use that to get away from that boyfriend. And the night that he grabbed my throat, I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. And I had already started my master's, but I hadn't got the money through yet. And then 2 days later, I ended up staying in the hospital that night, and I checked my bank account, and my money had come through. So it was like when I finally said no more, the money came. And then I ended up I went to therapy, and I actually ended up in a woman's shelter. And then when I started my master's, like slowly my self-esteem started to go up again. And I was also doing a lot of, I actually ended up doing, because I pray a lot for guidance about what's the next thing for me to do. So I did hypnosis. I did hypnosis every day for 3 months, by this woman called Marissa Peer. She's amazing. She's incredible. I was listening to I Am Enough and I Am Lovable every single day for 3 months. Like, I'm very disciplined about stuff like that, and also meditated and did a lot of gratitude stuff. And then during the course of my master's, I ended up falling in love with decolonial research and doing art with decolonial research, and a lot of things about race and helping marginalized groups. And I started to see that all the things I had learned, I could help other people.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
so I ended up deciding I was going to initially work with people who were homeless, but then I decided to work with refugees. And my master's thesis was actually about race and white privilege, and how this hierarchy of race we really need to look at it. We need to take ownership for the fact that we have these privileges that other races don't have. And then volunteered with refugees. I was like, really opened my eyes. And then I put out to the universe for a PhD with art, refugees, and was paid. And 1 month later, my supervisor sent me a link for this PhD that I'm about to do. And when I applied for it, like, they offered me 45 minutes after I had did the interview. They emailed me and said, we want to offer it to you. So I don't know, like, that's sort of how I put myself back together. But I've probably, maybe left some things out, but feel free to ask me whatever questions.
Well, do you look at it now that you're helping refugees? Do you look at your own life being estranged from your family? Not that it was that extreme, but in some ways it is. Do you ever equate it?
I see the parallel. Yeah. This displacement that a lot of refugees go through, I felt it. I experienced this sense of like not belonging anywhere. And what happened was, when I was volunteering with refugees, I was able to, and I'm very transparent as a person. Like, I'm the kind of person that I'm very authentic. I live in alignment with who I am. So, what you see is what you get. So when I went and volunteered, I was just wanted to bring kindness and love, but I didn't realize I had so much to offer in terms of life experience. So I was opening up and telling them about my story, because I'm not afraid to tell people what I've been through. Then they would tell me these incredible things back. And then I used those stories in my thesis. I talked about the things that they told me about in my thesis, and used, my thesis is very unique in the sense I did autoethnography and wrote about the different feelings and the different stories that were shared with me, and how they entrusted me with these stories in a way, because I had something also to offer, that they could tell I had been through some things. And that's why I feel like they opened up to me,
I would think so. I mean, I'm sure that when you walked away from or when your family walked away from you and you were alone, and then you're being abused in a relationship, and you leave that. I mean, you literally left one country, went to another country with $100, I call them dollars, and you just figured yourself out.
Right.
And then you're in another abusive relationship. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that breaks you and then restores you, and breaks you and restores you.
Right.
But you become someone new, a whole new person. Whatever is broken, it's healed, but it's not, you don't heal the same way. Right.
Right.
You feel like,
which is why this painting for me is such a representation of, I've become a person that a so much better version of me than I could ever have imagined. And I'm so proud of the woman I am. I look in the mirror and I'm so proud of myself every day. And I'm the happiest I've ever felt in my life. I just feel so happy all the time, because I really poured all my love into myself. And it really taught me the power of my own love, actually, that when you put that towards you, instead of constantly giving it to others and not thinking about yourself, it's like it's so transformative, because you really can, then you become unstoppable. And I really have shown myself like how strong and unstoppable I am.
You're an inspiration. You're such an inspiration. So when you look at this painting now, what does it represent to you? What do you see in yourself when you see that?
I see a warrior. I see somebody that nobody's going to get in my way. Nobody and nothing is going to get in my way when I see it. And I put that up when I was doing my master's as a reminder, and then I got the top grade, and I was like, that's what I want. I wanted the best grade, and I got it. And it was hard. It was a hard journey because my supervisor was quite tough on me, but I just kept looking at that painting and was like, no, I've been homeless. I've been in abusive relationships. I've been estranged from my family. I can do anything. I was like, a master's is nothing. It's easy in comparison to everything else, right? So
It is. I've been there. I did the same thing. So let me ask one more question, and I want you to let everyone know how they can reach you. Do you think when you finally made that choice to choose yourself with that boyfriend, the second one, or at least the last one, is that when life, I mean, I know things were changing, but did things really just snap into place then?
yeah, that's whenever I really felt free. Like when I left him, I was a slither of the person that I had known when I was younger. But when I left him and I started to do therapy and was in the women's aid shelter, like I just felt this sense of, oh my God, this is it. This is my moment. That was 2021. Like that's 2 years ago now. And it's just been up. It's just been up since that moment.
Right.
So
It's only been
leaving
2
him
years.
and choosing me, yes, it was the moment that my life changed forever. And I knew that too, but it's just been an incredible 2 years. I've just got happier every day since.
That's awesome. So we have one more minute. How can we book you, get a painting? Where can we find you? I know you're going to be in Athens for a show, an art show, but
I'm on Instagram, showerofblessings.love.
and that's showerofblessings.love. And I will put that on my Instagram and on my Facebook so you can find it. And they can get a painting, correct?
Yeah, exactly. You can order a painting.
And what kind of paintings do you do? I know you said before, but
I do people's personal angels, their personal animal totems, and I also do soul essence if people want that as well.
That's amazing. I will be checking you out. So Lisa, we only have a few seconds left. I just want to thank you so much for being on my show. You have been an inspiration, and I know anybody who hears this is going to be blown away by your story. It is really, oh, absolutely. You're welcome. The fact that you're here at 3:00 in the morning to do this is, I heart you. Thank you so much. And yes, no, I'm speechless on your story. It really was moving, and I could listen to all of it. And I don't know, maybe you should write a book someday.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for the Mini Medium with Stephanie Cowan. Live from tarotwithsteph.net.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is the Mini Medium
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
All right, wonderful. Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. And also happy, I saw this today. I'd love to go and look and see. So today is
Also, happy National Holistic Healing Day. They may have worded it a little bit different, but basically, today is a day to focus on your healing internally and all the beautiful energy around, and look into more, I think, holistic type of energy to heal whatever it is that you need to heal. So it's a great day. It's a beautiful day. Also, I am your mini medium on the A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I'm so happy to be on. I had to miss last week, but we're all good. I had some good rest and rejuvenation, and I'll tell you, I don't know about you all, but this last, apparently we had a solar storm, these solar flares. And to my surprise, apparently that is what caused my anxiety and some kind of, I was in a funk. It was interesting to see. I posted it out on my Stephanie's Tarot reading page, and a lot of people responded saying they felt the same way. And it really was a lot of the pressure coming from the earth, from Gaia, Mother Earth, and then ultimately the sun, which is that masculine energy pushing down. So if you think about the heat and then the pressure, you got the two of them, and it just causes a lot of that anxiety. So made a whole lot of sense. So, but I'm back and I feel amazing and ready to rock an awesome show for tonight. Also, at 7:30, so in about an hour and a half, I will be on my Stephanie's Tarot reading page. As usual, I will be doing my about 2 hours of free readings. So if you happen to be listening and you want to enjoy and feel the just amazing energy that I'll tell you every Wednesday night between my show, my podcast with A1R, my mini medium show, and then also my show with Stephanie's Tarot reading. I do about 3 hours of readings. So, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I feel very blessed to have, the opportunity to do what I love. So, man, I'm already losing my voice. I always tell people when you hear me go froggy, it's usually because I'm starting to connect with our loved ones in spirit. So, or someone's loved ones. Weird. They manipulate my throat chakra. So, anyway, lots of good things, lots of exciting things. I now have a new website, which all that information will also be updated thanks to our amazing producer and the behind the scenes piece. So thank you to them. And the new website, so please go check it out at mini-medium.com. So mini-medium.com. And you can schedule through there and lots of information about events that I'm doing or contests, drawings, giveaways, all that fun stuff. Plus, of course, I'll have a link to my show with A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. So easy peasy. I'm so happy to have that website up and going. I'll tell you, it has made my life a lot easier. So thank you to my assistant. Her name is Savannah. She's incredible. So shout out to her right now. Okay. All right, my friends, let's get to what we all are here for, right? How about some reading? Now, I always start out my show with an affirmation, and I don't know, I feel like this number has just been consistent and I can't ignore it. So we're going with the number 33. I feel like I've had that number a couple times. So, and what that means to me is, of course, angel signs, but also every time that I am drawn to a certain number, it is someone in spirit or my spirit guides just giving me those messages through numbers, which numerology is huge for me when I do my readings. So someone is going to connect with that number 33 in one way, shape, or form that was meant to have us connect for tonight. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, 21. So try to count and talk at the same time. It just doesn't work. And so I count out the cards according to that number, give you your beautiful affirmation, which this is, again, very simple. I feel like we've had another week of simple ones, but the affirmation that goes to everybody for this week says, everything is going to be okay. So how simple, but how powerful, right? So as you tell yourself this and repeat it over and over until your beautiful energy absorbs it, internalizes, and really takes it to heart, I guess you will. You want to keep doing that. So tell yourself everything is going to be okay. You know, we'll get through whatever it is that you're trying to get through, right? The struggles, the everyday life stuff, I feel like lately. So, and real quickly, before I take my caller, be prepared, my friends. Next month, August, the 1st, 2nd, and August 30th, 31st, we have a blue moon. And a blue moon is where we have 2 full moons in 1 month. Does not happen often. Like they say, once in a blue moon. And not only is it a blue moon, it's also a super moon. And the super moon means that that beautiful feminine energy of the moon is going to be very close to Earth. So we're going to feel that incredible energy from these super moons. So just be prepared. And then in addition, if we can't have enough stuff going on, in August, I believe 22nd, don't quote me on that, but about that time, Mercury goes into retrograde. So if you are a Gemini, such as myself, our moon is Mercury. And so guess what? It can cause a little bit of, chaos, anxiety, things to be a little crazy. But you put your beautiful intentions out there beforehand, then the universe, she listens and she'll take care of you. So keep that in mind, okay? All right. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take my first caller for tonight. This is April in LA, Los Angeles. Hi, April.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. A little anxious about a situation, but I'm doing good. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry that you're having that anxiety. I was just literally mentioning to, I don't know if you heard that, man, it's been in the air lately. A lot of people in that same boat per se. So, but I'm happy to be here to help in any way I can. I generally, as a Gemini, I do pretty well. I do feel like when we have Mercury in retrograde, I get very tired. I don't feel as motivated. And so they do say that when when Mercury goes in retrograde, not to sign certain like big contracts or any contracts for that matter. Also, don't make big decisions during this time. There's so many, also relationships. Don't make any sudden moves or kind of impulse decisions, right? Don't act or react on your emotions. So it's a good thing to keep in mind, because I feel like that sometimes some things can be avoided and some cannot. So if we can avoid it, then I love with my gifts that I have been blessed with, the ability to kind of see what's coming. Then I can guide you and give you, that heads up and help you to be prepared for whatever is to come. So doing this as long as I have, 27 years, which I feel like every time I say that, it just blows me away. But I wish I could. I wish I could go backwards. It ages me every time. Like, oh my gosh, I'm almost 50. It's incredible. But we got April back. Sorry, April, we lost you for a moment.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys called back. I think the call dropped or something.
Oh, shoot. Well, there must be, see, we were just talking about the crazy energy out there. So there's a sign for sure. What can I help you with tonight, hon?
So I want to get clarity on his intentions and like this guy, what he's planning with me and him. Because I keep getting like kind of mixed signals, to be honest.
Okay. And this is a significant other?
I guess. Well, we've been talking for about 6 months now, but he hasn't set a date. So we haven't like met in person, but we do like, we text a lot, we FaceTime a few times, but I don't know if he's ever gonna meet me in person. I guess that's what I'm wondering.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, hon. I'm gonna while you've been talking, I've been just kind of pulling a couple cards here, just because I want to see if I'd love to get a little bit of guidance from the cards. So now a couple things that I felt just a little bit of hesitation, or maybe not hesitation, but maybe a little bit of I would say on your part, maybe hesitation, because I felt a sense of weight. Just hang on it. Don't jump too quick and rush into anything, which I don't feel like you are. I feel, if anything, you've been very patient. That's for sure. And so, can you? Well, how about we just get initials? Can you give me his initials?
Yes. His initial is S like Sam, R like Romeo. So SR.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. So I okay. One thing that I feel that I'm seeing, uh, 100% the hesitation I feel as I'm starting to get more visions, if you will, but is I just want you to be very, not that I want you to keep your walls up, because I feel like that it's taken a long time to bring some of those walls down to where you can trust again. I do feel like trust has been a difficult one for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. And I want you to kind of keep those walls up, maybe not as high, per se, but just because I feel that, as I'm connecting with him, there is a feeling of just not being completely transparent, not being very forthcoming when it comes to certain aspects, in his life. And I feel like that is where the hesitancy or the delaying of meeting you, I know you FaceTimed with him, which is good. Because at least you're not being catfished, in that way.
Right.
That's a good sign. Now, I get numbers a lot of the times, and as I'm connecting just with you and him, I keep seeing the number 9. So 9 is September, the 9th of a month. It can be that I don't remember if you said you guys have been talking for about 6 months, I think you said. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you connect with that number 9? And I'll tell you why I'm asking here in a moment. Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you said anything, and I didn't hear you. Do you connect with the number 9 with him or with you?
Well, that's his birthday, like the 9th.
Okay.
That's the only thing I could think of. Yeah.
No. Oh my gosh, no, that's exactly what it is. And there's no way I would know that, right? There's no way I would know. I have a pretty narrow chance of getting if it's a month, but the date. So if anything, it's just validating my connection with him being the 9th. And so
yeah, his
and
birthday just passed. It was July 9th.
Okay. All right. And that
Yeah.
just kind of tells us that who I'm seeing and what I'm seeing really is connecting to him. So this isn't, I'm seeing someone else, you know. So now I would say, I'm going to tell you, and I'm very transparent, very honest in my readings. So, because, you know, I say you come to me or any reader hopefully gives you that honesty. I would not I wouldn't put much more energy or um, or put all your eggs in one basket is kind of, you know, per se with him. I just feel a sense this might go on, and I don't want you to miss that opportunity of possibly meeting your person. And I feel like this is going to drag on for a minute. Um, and I'll tell you, I can tell with your energy um, and just your voice. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but that you are ready to settle down. You're ready to have that commitment. You have such a beautiful kind of unconditional love about you, so very forgiving. And then sometimes I feel like that when we're that way, and I say we because I'm that way as well. We get taken advantage of. Yeah, I feel like I would hold off on pursuing much of your energy into this, and I would say almost that ultimatum. You know, give him that ultimatum of we meet in 2 weeks or I move on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can do that. I actually gave him an ultimatum today, and he hasn't responded. So
That's probably why I see the ultimatum. I knew you were going to do it soon. I thought, oh, we'll just give you validation of needing to do it. And the lack
yeah,
of
I gave him an
response.
ultimatum. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, hon. You're good. Go ahead.
Oh no, so I gave him an ultimatum today, but I gave him till the end of August. I said if it wasn't nothing going to happen, then we can just be friends and that's it. But I'm basically moving on somewhere else with my love life.
Good.
So that's kind of like
Good.
how I broke it down to him.
Good. Good for you, hon. Good for you. Yep. You definitely have more to give, and I don't want to see you put any more time and energy into this if you're not getting that back in return. So I feel like, the hesitation or the lack of response may be your sign, So, but I'm sending you so much good energy and love and light. And I have no doubt you're going to find your person without a doubt, hun. So hang in there. It's coming.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. You have a wonderful night. Okay. Thanks for calling in.
You too. Take care, love.
All right, hun. You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. We have another caller. We have a little bit of time. And this is Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh my gosh, of course. How can I help you tonight?
Hi. I just wondered if you had any insight with my two younger children.
Okay.
They're boys, and yeah, with custodial with my ex-husband.
Okay. Say that again. I'm sorry, hun.
Yeah, kind of with custodial, like custody with my ex-husband.
Oh,
my two younger.
Gotcha. Okay, custodial. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I missed that part. Okay. Yeah, let me see here. I'm just gonna focus for a moment and see what we can get. I think I have about 6 minutes on my show, but I want to give you as much as I can. Okay, so interesting. I just thought I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you, and I'm using a chakra tarot deck, and the two cards that come out happen to be a king and a queen, and this really represents you and the ex, that your ex-husband. Not only that, but it also is the color of our crown chakra, the purple. And I have a feeling, are you drawn to purple?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So really when that crown chakra is blocked, which I kind of feel like yours might need some work. So look into, chakra and Reiki. But when that happens, then we really struggle to connect with what we call our highest self, and then we really kind of question, who we are, what our purpose is, and how, kind of question your ability or how well you are doing as a mom, and how that kind of comes together. So when I see these two cards, and just really intuitively what I'm seeing, I feel like one of your boys is more drawn to being drawn to you and wanting to be with you. And then I see your other being more drawn to dad and wanting to stay with dad or go with dad. Have you noticed that with the two of them?
Well, I think just the youngest one is more attached to me.
Okay. Okay. Now, I get, when I connect with your boys, I get numbers all the time. And I keep seeing the number 8. Do you connect with August or the 8th of a month or the age of 8?
The older of the two boys is going to be 18, but not until December.
Okay. Okay. That's okay. In December, you said? December. Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. And this could be where the connection is with him, but I feel I'm not getting my sign if that's what this is. So I want you to keep in mind next month, and really next month being a very powerful, very what's the right word? I would say a month where a lot of change and connections come with the custody. Now, do you have any dates set for August? Court dates? Anything like that?
No, not at all. Not yet.
Okay. So please watch for that. Okay. I just feel, and I feel a great balance of energy where I feel that, maybe just having a mediator or just someone there to kind of facilitate the conversation. But I'm not feeling like a huge power struggle too much from dad. But I do feel that it's just the balance tells me more of a 50-50. So I feel like maybe that, and you can tell me you don't want to answer, and I totally understand. Are you wanting custodial, what is that? Sole custody, I guess I should say. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. So if you get the sole custody, and it goes in your favor, I still feel that there's a good balance of the kids having time with you and with your ex, and I'm not worried about too much power, struggle or, that push and pull. I would say, when you go into this court date or what I see coming in August, I was just mentioning we have 2 very powerful full moons. They're called the blue moon and they're super moons. So the energy is going to be very, very high next month. So be sure that when you go into any meetings, when it comes to custody or anything for the boys, that you take deep breaths, open that beautiful crown chakra, get yourself connected to your highest divine, and keep yourself grounded, just so that there isn't any kind of imbalance, in that. So, but I feel, with what I'm seeing, I'm not worried. I have a good feeling about all of it. And awesome. I do feel in a sense, I know this don't mean to sound harsh, but I do feel that you may see that the boys may be with you more than with dad, even with the court. Okay. You know what I mean? I feel like they'll just draw to you more. So, but I've been through this, so I can relate a little bit. But I'll tell you, I trust my visions, and I think, Amy, you're going to be just fine, my friend.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. It was a pleasure to just have a quick reading with you, but I hope that helped a little
Thank you.
bit.
I love watching you and listening to you.
Oh, good. Oh, thank you for following me. Yeah, and if you're not busy tonight in about an hour, I'll be on my Facebook page doing free readings. So feel free to hop on there.
Okay,
and it's Stephanie's Tarot Readings.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
You have a good evening.
Oh, you're welcome, Amy. You too, my friend. Have a good night.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, hun. All right. Wonderful. What a fun night. I love when nights just are so smooth and readings are beautiful. And how about that number 9? I'm telling you, my visions have been incredible lately. So I can't wait for next week. And please go and check out my new website at mini-medium.com. Also, you can follow me on Facebook as Stephanie's Tarot Readings. Eventually, that's going to be streamlined to Mini Medium. We're just going to have it all be Mini Medium. And then also my Instagram is Mini Medium 75. And I will see you guys all next week. Have a beautiful and wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Understanding Spirit
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
everyone, and welcome to another week with Understanding Spirit. I want to talk to you today about auras. And so what is an aura? An aura is the atmosphere, the air that is around your body. We have 7 layers of energy fields around our body, and they give us all the information of our past life, our present life, and anything that can be coming up in the future. So all our emotions are held within the aura. Some people do specific aura readings. A lot of psychics will tune into your aura. Spirit can push messages into your aura. So they're very important. They hold all the physical and spiritual aspects of our life. All right, our auras will affect our moods, affect our bodies. We can gravitate to certain colors when we want to wear a particular item. If we gravitate to a particular color, that's affecting our mood. So the aura does play a huge part in our lives. Now, when we look at the different colors with the auras, they are very much like the chakras. So we have, and they represent similar things as well. So when you see red in the aura, it has a lot to do with strength and passion and, like how we feel about ourselves within the human state. All right, and then of course we have orange in the aura, has to do with our happiness, our confidence, and then we will also see yellow, which is inspiration, sensitivity, in our solar plexus, has to do a lot with our creativity. All right, and then we have the green, which is love, healing, health, as we hold it in our heart chakra as well. And then we go up to blue, which the same with our throat, communication, speech. So if you saw that in an aura, that color in an aura, it would be something along those lines that are affecting you within your life. All right, and then again we go to indigo, which is with our third eye, intuition, your imagination, how you visualize and see things. And then we have violet, enlightenment, spirituality. All right, they're the main ones that come up. Ones that are more some can be rare, some not. If you see black within somebody's aura, a lot of people will panic and think, oh, I'm dying, I've got an attachment, they always look at it as a dark thing. I love black. My favorite color is black. Wearing it today. But it has more to do with physical and emotional trauma that you can be holding onto. If you're seeing that, you might see black in one side of a person's body, pink in another, so for anyone who has gone for an aura reading or is about to go, don't feel you need to be scared by that. All right, and then there's brown. Brown comes up with being grounded and calm. Again, it's not a common one. The black and the brown are not specific to a particular aura. Okay, and then you might see gold. Again, that is not specific to a particular chakra. However, that is very rare. That is, you may see that with somebody who is quite enlightened and has a lot of inner wisdom and hold a lot of inner peace. You will see, white in an aura that will give you purity And also you may see it with a psychic medium many times when I am at expos and I'm doing lectures. I will have people who have come for the day, and they will come up to me and they'll say to me, "Well, I can see your aura is so wide, I can see it, you know, from across the room," which is always nice. I always have a little bit of a giggle with that. And then you'll see pink. All right, pink sometimes with the heart chakra. A lot of people have green, but they will all, some people also have pink. Now, when you see pink in the aura, there's a lot of compassion and a lot of spirituality there held in the heart. So when we're tuning in, whenever I'm tuning in, I always center my heart. I always ask for all my messages to be heartfelt, and that is for the best and highest good for the person I'm reading for, and also for myself at the same time. Okay, so that's a little bit sort of about the colors. I'll give you the layers, the 7 layers. Now, I have written down the distance of them from the body because I never remember it, but the first layer, and the one that you're most likely to see when you're starting to practice, is the etheric body. All right, now the measurement, I don't know where you are in the world listening to this, but it's 1 to 6 centimeters or 0.5 to 2 inches away from your body. So the first layer that you'll see, that is the first one. That's the etheric body, and that has to do with the health of our physical body, and that has to do with our root and our base chakra. All right, the second one is the emotional body, and that is 2 to 10 centimeters or 2 to 4 inches away from our body. That is the second one. All right, that has to do with our feelings and our emotions and connected to your sacral chakra. The third one is the mental body, and that has to do, that is 7 to 5 to 20 centimeters away from the body. So that's the third layer as it comes out. It has to do with all our mental thoughts and has connected to the solar plexus. Okay, the fourth one is the astral body. It's 20 to 30 centimeters or 8 to 12 inches away from the body, and it's our layer of love. Okay, connects us to our heart chakra. Okay, we then move down out, I should say, to the fifth one, which is the etheric template body. It's 30 to 60 centimeters or 1 to 2 feet away. Now the auras can go out to like 3 feet. Okay, so, and that has to do with our spiritual and the physical plane, where we can make contact, okay, and with connected to the throat chakra. All right, and that's also like with our communication with spirit. Okay, the sixth one is the celestial body, and that is 60 to 120 centimeters out or 2 to 3 feet away. Has to do with your intuition, your dreams, connected to your third eye. Okay, the last one is the causal body. So all your soul's experiences, that is 76 to 106 centimeters or 2.5 to 3.5 feet away from your body. So as you can see, it can go quite out. And it's also the outer layer that protects all the other layers, and it holds all those auric layers together. Okay, now as usual, I like to do a little kind of a practice thing with you to help you sort of like understand what you're doing. Today we're going to do the first exercise. I'm going to get you to see if you can feel your aura. So if you're wanting to do the exercise today, you just rub your hands together. All right, and just build up sort of the energy so you can feel it. And then I want you to just kind of push it out, and I want you to visualize like a golden ball between your hands, and you'll start to feel that your hands might be tingling, or you're feeling a heat or some kind of sensation in your hands. And then I want you to just push it out and push it in and push it out and push it in. And then if you're feeling like a numbness or something, that's all normal. And then you can start to manipulate it. You can go out, you can bring it in, moving it the other way. Okay, so what you're feeling is your aura from one side of your body to the other, just kind of connecting. Okay, so you can manipulate it, move it around any way that you want. Okay, now you can also expand your aura and you can bring it in as well. So sometimes you can get somebody that's in your space and you might not like that, or you feeling a bit yucky around the outside of your body. All right, always do protection when you do this. Again, as usual, visualize a white ribbon of light coming down. Also another white light giving you a bubble of protection all the way around your body. When you feel like you are completely protected, then I want you to start breathing in through your nose. All right, and as you breathe in through your nose, I want you to breathe out through the top of your head, right? And as you do that, you can visualize yourself either bringing your aura closer in or expanding your aura. Okay, it's good to expand your aura if you're preparing for doing readings or practicing any kind of mediumship work, because the more extended that your aura is out, the more space you create for spirit to come into your aura, giving you visuals, especially if you have psychic abilities and have not connected with any mediumship abilities. To practice seeing this with your hand, you know, to have a go, all you do is put it in front of a white wall in front of you, place your hand out like that, your fingers closed, and then drop your gaze so your eyes are half closed, and then start to see it around your hand, and then visualize your fingers opening up, and then you might start to see like a gray haze around. So that's how you can start to practice. The more you practice it and you focus, you've got to have the white wall in front of you, otherwise you can't see clearly. All right, so just practice all of that. Anyone who's interested, let me know how you're going with it. If you have any questions, you can email me. Thank you again for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Thank you to A1R Radio and Moonstruck TV. And smile, enjoy your week. Have a good life. Bye.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Soulfully Guided with Carmel Ann. Live from soulfullyguided.com.au.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Soulfully Guided
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm just thinking our producer said to sing on the show, and I don't think anyone wants to hear that. So, which I think, Dave, you have a fantastic radio voice, and maybe one day you should be on the other end of the camera. So, to everyone, hello and welcome to another week of Soulfully Guided. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching the replay or you're here live. Let us know you're here and tell us what you think about the show, how it works for you, how it doesn't. Always welcome to what you think. And this morning, as I started to get ready, so we are going to go into a caller today as well. So if you're wanting a mini reading, please call in or tune in and let our producer know so we can get that reading for you live. I had the pleasure of, for the first time, listening to the radio show live today as I was getting ready. I thought, I'm not going to do a dance off in front of the mirror, as I usually do. That's my Thursday thing, my dorky Thursday thing to get me hyped up for the show, but hopefully not too hyped up. So really wanted to shout out from Stephanie Cowan right through to Kelly, which was, I had to tune off a few minutes before. What amazing readers and hosts. You know, A1R, Psychic Radio, Moonstruck TV have a phenomenal range of readers and all gifted in their own right and their own way, and huge shout out to them. Very enjoyable to watch. So what I wanted to talk about today is we mentioned a little bit about finding inner peace through spiritual exploration in our meetup group. So basically we're looking for diverse ways that are spiritual and non-spiritual that will help us grow, whether it be our mindset, open our mind, try new things and explore different ways of finding your happy place and your mindset and being internally feeling good. So I'm going to introduce someone next week, and her name is Candace. So I will allow Candace to introduce herself, but we're going to collaborate. So Candace, we've got Michelle in Portland. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good, thank you, Michelle. Bear with me one sec. So I was just introducing Candace, and Candace will be on the show next week if you want to tune in. We'll be offering a session on past life regression with our meetup group, and Candace will be talking about that and herself next week. And I really look forward to having her on the show this time next week. So getting back to Michelle, thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Great. So I'm a tarot reader. I'd love to do a reading for you. Is there anything in particular you'd like to ask about for your reading today?
No, nothing in particular. Just a general reading would be fine.
I love general readings. Excellent. Okay. So just connect with you. Okay. So I'm just shuffling the cards, connecting with you, and getting ready for your general read.
Okay.
Let's have a general read. And what area would that be, please? Okay. So general read. Take some advice and guidance. And an outcome. Okay. Okay. So while connecting with you, your cards say one thing and you're like you're at an in-between stage. Do you have a lot of thoughts at the moment? You're getting a bit of pressure on like just a little bit of pressure, not a headache, but a lot going on in the mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. So very manageable. But what we want to connect that with your reading, Michelle, is we're going to go into your general reading and, you know, it's like it's a time to reflect and contrast and sort of break cycles and change things. Look, I feel there could be a bit more focus on your emotional well-being and your emotional needs. It's been hard for you setting boundaries and getting in that mindset to put yourself first, even when people have given you promises they couldn't fulfill or keep. Not even to intentionally hurt you, but just, people not being able to commit to what they've said. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to do is, when we look at the outcome, it seems to be that there's still heartache and hurt and sort of, the need to speak up. So instead of just finishing that way, we want to explore how we can break that cycle where you're feeling like no matter how much you try, how much logic, perseverance, effort and time you put into your daily routine, the connections you have and enjoying life, it seems that, we want to break that cycle of you feeling hurt or finishing last. And I think the way we can do that is, we want to avoid people rushing into your life and expecting too much, suddenly and sort of with, speed and erraticness and, at an uncomfortable rate that's too much for you, whether that be in your relationships and, your physical sort of well-being in life. I think this is a time for exploring your spark and getting your spark back, because having that spark and that passion and that enjoying life and fulfillment, that's going to set a platform for all other areas of your life, for you, your routine, your responsibilities, your emotions, your boundaries, and your mental mindset and well-being. How are you feeling about that?
That sounds good. I definitely need to focus on myself. It's very true.
Okay. Now, what I want to emphasize is you're not obligated to do anything that we say as a reader. It is purely for your best interest and with all our heart that we offer you. There is a challenge that if we don't shift these and start thinking of yourself a little bit more and what you're getting out of life, it's going to repeat a cycle where we said earlier that we're always going to be finishing last and, you're going to be the one hurt. So it doesn't mean that you need to shut off to the world. Just don't, be more compassionate to yourself, what you do with your time, your energy, your interest and things like that, which is boundary setting, especially when you know someone cannot fulfill their word and you see through that, but yet you still, with the goodness of your heart, give them a place. And it's not even in a toxic way. It's just that you read people well, but you give them a lot of you. So you want to choose the right people to give all of you to, rather than selling yourself short and giving it to everyone. I think this can be physically exhausting and draining, not to mention all the other effects it has. And it's, it's a time to think outside the box and be greedier with your time as well. Have you considered going on a holiday?
If I could right now, I would. I definitely need to go and just do relaxing things in general. I haven't been out in nature or anything like that in a long time.
I think the holiday is the center of your attention right now. If you can even get a day trip on your own or get some time away just to be you and do something, even if it's doing nothing all day, that is the center that will sort of spark your interest and understand that you want more than, what you've got right now and how to achieve that on all levels. So the main theme is about your passion and getting your spark back and your drive to enjoy your life and, think more, as a lot of us tend to need to think more about ourselves. And that's not in a negative sense. The more you cater for your own needs, the better you can be for those around you that you choose to have in your life. So it's not selfish at all. It's actually it should be part of your self-care regime.
Okay.
Now, I really want to stress, if we don't do this, it's going to consume you a lot more. And you know, if you need help sort of shifting, you know, you can do it. You can do this on your own, but if you wanted further help, whether that be counselling or, you know, you want to explore self happiness and development and chip away at the layers of yourself. Because if we sort of don't start putting your needs first and finding time for yourself, whether it be that day trip or a longer holiday when that's possible, you're going to end up your heart always lacking and feeling pain and sort of quietly feeling like you're always finishing last. So it's important to speak up as well. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely relatable. I actually am in counseling. I am just having mental health issues, I guess, and I do have like a people pleasing problem where I will, you know, give, like you said, give a lot of myself and then not receive anything back. So I literally am at a stagnant point where I'm stuck. So I don't have like a spark, like a reason really. Not, I don't want to say reason to live, but no excitement or anything like that in my life. So it's 100% true.
Yeah, that spark and that passion. Look, you're welcome to watch the replay. You're at a crossroad, really. It's that compare and contrast. It's sort of this or that, and you see it nicely in your reading. Please do watch the replay if it can help you again. It is nothing you cannot handle. This is a big challenge, and wars and behaviors you've been living with your whole life. It's going to take time to break them down and shift between thinking for your better good towards people pleasing. It is not impossible. It's going to be tough, but it will give you a better quality life that you can enjoy.
Thank you.
You are so welcome, Michelle. Thank you for coming on the show and being so open and available for me to read for you. To everyone else, please stay tuned, please tune in next week for our show with Candace, and we'll be talking about an event we'll be hosting on past life regression, and I'll be learning about that too. Thank you. See you next week.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Live from Wings of Souls with Julie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Your Time to Shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening. I hope this evening finds you well. Thank you so much for tuning in with me this evening. I'm happy to have you here. And I have some really exciting news. I know last week I kind of tantalized you a little bit letting you know that a good friend and medium that I know, her and I are hosting a retreat in Canada in this October. And the good news is I've got all the information up on my website. It is live. You can sign up to join us the weekend of October. I believe it's, oh, now I'm blanking on the dates. I believe it's the 13th and 14th. It is a weekend. It might be 14th and 15th. I think that's what it is. But go to my website, check it out, wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. You'll find all the information. There's a special tab right there that talks about the Angel Within Retreat. It's going to be a beautiful weekend of healing and making new friends and diving deep into our soul's calling. There's going to be some meditations and some great guest speakers. So don't miss out. Again, we've got it live on my website. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, but hope to see you all there in Canada in October. All right. So tonight, the topic is all about taking care of ourselves. Perfect after I've just talked about the Angel Within Retreat, which is all about self-care, right? And loving yourself. And a big part of that is being able to be open to receiving. And I pulled some cards this evening. And again, they are right on with the topic of talking about the Angel Within Retreat. But the two cards I pulled are called Relax and Available. And so relaxing is all about diving deep into how you relax, how you relax and you sleep well, and taking care of you, asking and receiving all of the blessings that come with relaxation, and knowing that every moment is presenting itself with ease and with blessings. I thought it was a beautiful card. The second one is being available and open. And not only being available and open to receive blessings, but open and available to receive all kinds of information, right? Knowing that the most baffling problems will come to fruition as long as we are available. And being available also means being open, quieting the mind, relaxing and being in the moment. When we can relax and we can be available and we can calm the mind, that's when all the information can come to us. It's going to be all of the ideas that we've been asking for, all of the information, the questions being answered, right? And again, all of these come in steps. So you have to be patient because you might get little pieces of information at a time, and it's all within baby steps. The universe gives us everything that we need, but it's in little chunks, little baby steps. So, asking a question about something, you may get the spark of an idea, right? And then that will lead to something else. It may lead to research, to answering a question. It may be just a step in the direction to get where you're going. But all of that comes from being in that relaxed state, being able to receive and being open and available to receive. So as humans, our brains go 90 miles an hour. I know mine does. I know that I am a horrible overthinker. Sometimes the overthinking is a good thing. Sometimes the overthinking can work against me. However, it's about stopping and letting that mind go, releasing that mind and being in that peaceful situation. And to get there, for me, it's being able to find the silence, the quiet, right? It's about me being able to go shut the door, turn on some great relaxing music and get into meditation. Or it may be going out into nature and touching a tree. That's another one of my big ones is getting out and being in the natural environment around the trees or around the river. So whatever it is that you need to do, maybe it's getting in the bathtub, whatever it is that you need to do to be able to shut the brain down, quiet the mind so that spirit can come in, your angels can come in and give you the guidance and the inspiration that you've been looking for and asking for. So again, the self-care comes back in as receiving, right? We all have to stop. And, you know, my husband and I even got into conversation about this, about I don't always give myself the time that I need each day. And so it's about carving that time out for yourself. It's that self-care. It's what keeps us balanced, aligned, and keeps our sanity. So very important to give yourself that time, that self-care that you are needing each day, each and every day. It's so important. And calming that mind so that you can receive, so that you can think clearly what your next step is going to be, and counting our blessings and our gratitude, no matter how small that is. I've been trying to do a daily practice of waking up and really embracing blessings. You know, looking at one or two things that I am really deeply grateful for. And they can be anything. It doesn't have to be large. It could be as easy as, you know, having the alarm clock to be able to wake you up in the morning to get you going and off to work and to school. Well, I guess school is out right now for the summer, but for those, you know, taking summer classes, it's the simplest little things, finding the gratitude and finding the blessings and feeling that deep, deep within inside and letting that come out. And as you let that come out, right, it shifts and it changes our body chemistry and our dynamic. And it starts us off on the right foot each and every day. So a lot of information there, but the whole premise behind it is the self-care and being in the awareness and being open into receiving what it is that the universe is bringing through. Okay, so be kind to yourself, because you are the only one that can give you the love that you are needing in the moment. And so it's really important to have that self-love and to have that self-care to keep you in the healthy mindset and also the body healthiness mindset. All right. Well, right now, we have a caller on the line. We have Lindy in Ocean Shores, New South Wales, Australia. Good evening, Lindy,
Hello.
and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hello.
How are you?
Thanks for taking my call.
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Yeah, I'm at the beach.
What was that?
I'm at the beach. So it's a good place to be.
I'm jealous. I want to be at the beach. Good job in that self-care. That's awesome. Is it?
Will I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, I have a question about, I'm looking for a house, and if you can see anything regarding that.
I've made a big move and I have to find my own home.
Okay. All right, perfect. Lindy, let me check in really quick to see what information the angels and your guides are bringing in. And as I do that, there'll just be a little moment of silence, and then I'll be right back with you, okay?
Yep.
Okay. All right, Lindy. So what I'm being shown is Spirit is really excited about this. They're already putting together like the perfect little place. I keep getting this feeling or the words around a little cottage, right? Something very, very quaint and very homey. And it's like you're going to be so excited. You're going to be so excited with this. There's this feeling around it of something being yours, right? It feels like are you thinking about buying or renting? Because it feels like there's this energy around you actually purchasing a
Yeah, I'm
place.
buying.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm buying. Yeah, I've made a big move though. I've made a big move up towards where my daughters live, and yeah, it's very, yeah. I've just got to find out where I can fit in, sort of thing, and find a place.
Right. What they're showing me is that you're going to be very close to water with this place.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're close, like literally like on a river or a lake or something like that, or if you're just in very close proximity to one, but it feels like this draw to water, and this cozy little cottage kind of nestled in, and this homey, they just keep showing me like this very homey feeling. They're saying don't get too caught up in details.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I just missed out on one, and I'm like trying not to be so angry with myself.
Okay. So yeah, so that particular one that you were looking at, that wasn't quite right for you. There's another one that's coming up, and it's not too far behind. But they just keep bringing me back to don't get caught up in the details of it. Like take a step back and look at the big picture of everything. So
okay.
I don't know if you're getting down into the details of like what it looks like on the inside or what it looks like on the outside and the grounds, but they're saying those things can shift, okay? That you really need to be more from the eagle's perspective and or the hawk, right? And looking down on it and seeing the entire thing.
Okay.
Okay. So the other thing I keep hearing is get ready to move, because it's going to come fast when it starts happening.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And what you're going to find out is it's almost kind of like you found something and you're like, oh yeah, maybe, right? And it's like you put an offer in, or you talk to them about it, and then all of a sudden you guys are signing agreements and you're like, whoa, what just happened, right? It's going to be as easy as you can ever imagine. So when it happens very easily and very seamlessly, that's when you know that you are in the flow. That's when you know that it was meant to be, and it was brought to you. It's because you're not in resistance, you're in flow. And it's when you're in resistance and you think, oh, I really want that house, I really want that house, but it's like you're fighting every little thing, and it just seems like it's so difficult to get anywhere. That's not the one for you. Okay.
Oh, okay. So the one that I didn't get, was that not meant for me?
It was not meant for you.
Because I feel like, because I negotiated it, I had the papers to sign, and I just dilly-dallied. It had everything I sort of wanted, and I just didn't act, and I don't know why.
It's because deep down inside you knew that wasn't the right one. So it's like your soul was saying, nope, this isn't the right one. Even though your human self goes, oh yeah, it's got all of these things, right? It checks all my boxes. But for whatever reason, your soul is saying, no, this is not the right one.
Okay.
So, you know, when we go through a process like that, and this has even happened with me, right? You go through a process and you think, oh my goodness, this is the right one. You know, it has this, this, and this. It's got everything I want. And then something happens. It delays, or maybe you take one day too long deciding, and then the opportunity goes away. And, you know, you're frustrated and you're upset, but that opportunity wasn't the right opportunity for you. As much as we want to make it correct and make it right for us, it's not the right one.
Okay.
Okay. When the right one comes, so they're showing me the right one isn't going to be exactly what you think it's going to be. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're saying take a step back and look at it from a different perspective. Because when the right one does come along, it's going to be very easy. Like I said, every step of the way is going to be like so easy. You're going to think, wow, how did that happen? That was so easy. Okay. So they're saying, let that process happen.
Okay.
I really feel like in the next month or so, something is going to come through.
Okay.
They're also saying open up, expand. They're saying like expand your search, expand your parameters. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that's not really what I want to do, but it's very hard to limit it to where I am looking, because there's not much there.
Okay.
So that does make sense, yeah. Even though I don't want to go, because if I go up a bit further, it just gets so busy.
Yes. Again, you know, they're saying, they're just bringing me back to take a step back and open up more possibilities.
Okay.
They're saying that it's getting too narrow. Like they're showing me like almost like a funnel where it goes down and it gets really, really narrow. So you need to broaden that and open that up a little bit more.
Yeah, that's why I'm feeling like, I should have just taken that other one, because there's probably not going to be another one for another, I don't know, year or something like that.
So they're saying it may not be in the location that you are hoping for, but the location is still going to be good. It's going to be a location where you think, wow, I never thought about living here, but it's working out really well.
Okay. And it's planned.
I'm also seeing that this, and it's really fuzzy because they're going kind of back and forth, and they're showing me that your final decision, but this also could be more like a stepping stone for you, right? This is going to get you into something, and then a couple of years down the road, another one, and they're saying the one that you're going to get is going to be great, you're going to love it, but then there could be one that comes down the road that would be even better, right? A better location. And it's almost like what they're showing me is almost like this is giving you a chance to really look at all the different areas, like here in the States, it would be like different cities or different towns around a larger town, right? And so it's going to give you that idea of like, I wonder what it would be like to live on that other side of town, right? Or the other side of the city. And it's going to give you this time to be able to explore and really give you that feeling of, this is where I want to be. But they're also saying, and this is why it's really going to come down to your decision, because the place that you're going to get right now or in the very near future is going to give you all of the things that you need and more. It's really going to be more of a choice of convenience and everything around it. Okay. So there's going to be another opportunity to come up, and it's going to be your decision as to how you handle that. And they say either way is going to be the right decision. Does that make sense?
So no, that's a bit confusing. But okay, so I realize I have to let go of the one I missed out on, but I just can't work out why I didn't sign. And it's eating me. I don't know why I didn't sign it when it was so perfect for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what you can do is you can ask your angels and guides to cut the ties with that house so that the one that is meant to be for you is able to come through. Because as long as you are still thinking about that other house, the one that is meant for you isn't going to be able to come through.
Yeah, I understand that. That's why I'm trying to get it out of my head, but it's just constantly there. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So continue. I don't know if like you have a vision board or if you've written something down about what the perfect house is or looks like or the location, but I'm being shown to remind you to, write down or maybe pictures if you're a more visual person, and take pictures and put them on a visual board, or put up, write what it is that you're looking for in a house, and then put it somewhere where you can see it every day. Ask the angels for you to have that house, to bring that house to you, release it and let it go. But then every time you walk by, you go, yep, that's it. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me that house. That's perfect. Thank you. Right? And it just opens up the possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah. So I need to like sort of open up to places that I don't really want to live in. Is that what you mean?
So as far as releasing everything from the other house, you mean?
Oh no, just for my next home, the home I'm going to buy.
Right.
Do I need to be open to areas that I really don't want to live in?
Be open to all possibilities. Write down what it is that you're wanting. Write down the area that you're wanting to live in, but then be open to possibilities, because what they're saying is like one thing is connecting to something else is connecting to something else. Okay. So be open to whatever it is that comes in and that they're bringing in for you. Okay.
Okay, and they're helping me?
Yes, absolutely.
I think I believe they're helping me, which is a comfort.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Lindy, we are coming down to the last couple seconds of our show, so I have to say goodnight. But I hope this has been really helpful for you.
So much. Thank you so much.
You are so very welcome. Good luck.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye. That does it for me, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do check out my website at wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. Don't forget to check out all the information about the retreat coming up, and have a wonderful evening. We will see you again next week.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from Lady D's PsychicParties.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Astrology and Psychic Reading
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. I'm your host, Lady D. So what we've got coming up for this week, the main aspects that I can see that stand out to me this week, we do have a positive aspect today. We do have a conjunction with Venus and Mercury that's happening in Leo. So we do have this Venus retrograde that's coming up, what we're in, and it's going to be a so there's an aspect with this to the nodes, so the south and north node. So with this aspect today, I do feel like it's quite positive. You might hear back from someone that you'll be all waiting on something, or a call back that you're waiting on. It could be good news. I do feel like this is a positive news that's coming up. And it can be about romance, it can be about relationships, it can also be about money too, because we are dealing with Venus, which is love or money, and in the sign of Leo as well. So it could be about a friend, perhaps, or social, but whatever this is, it is positive news that's coming in. And the aspects to the node, it's like a destiny point. It's like you're on the right path, your path, if you're thinking about where you're heading, it's like it's no more of a shadow. The path is now lightened up for you, and you have a clear idea of where you're heading in life and what your destiny is, and it's just looking a lot clearer. It's a positive aspect that's coming up here with that. We've also got a full moon that is happening in Aquarius on the 2nd of August, and it's at 4:31 a.m. That's my time here in Sydney. So if you are around the world, it will probably be more the 1st of August. I do feel like this is going to be a full moon of letting go, having like a cleanse. I do feel like it's about releasing what you don't need or no longer what serves you. I do feel like you're getting more clarity about friendships here too. And I do feel like it's perhaps with some friendships, it might be time to sort of say goodbye. With this full moon, that's like a release. I just feel like it's some sort of big release and cleansing energy that's going to happen with this full moon. I do feel like it's about setting intentions, but also standing by your word. So I feel like what's coming up with this full moon is like if you promise to do something to someone, it is going to be like you're having to stand by your word and what you've said, that you need to follow through with that. It could be a little bit of high frequency, so you could be receiving a lot of messages or channeling messages that also be coming in today as well. And it's a sense of feeling free or being free. When we're dealing with Aquarius, we are dealing with our freedoms and feeling free. And I feel like that's going to be coming in to this with this full moon. Also, I feel like there could be an agenda or things like agreements or handshakes or deals being done, agreements made between people too. That's coming in here too in your own lives. So I do feel like it's a day of setting these intentions and setting things in stone and making deals too. I also feel like this week ahead, it is going to be a lot of like sharing is caring. I was getting that coming up in my head for this week too. And we've also got the Mercury is going to be moving in Virgo. Now that's going to be happening before the full moon. So it's more the 29th of July that's going to be coming up here. And that is going to be where we're going to try and be. I feel like with this, when we're dealing with Virgo energy, we are dealing with energy that's very nitpicky, perfectionist. So I do feel like it's going to be, perhaps you're going to be more careful in what you say and how you approach things, and you want to say things the right way or the correct way, or you're very pedantic about how things must be written. You might be more observant in sort of if you're dealing with any mistakes or how things are done and said. It can also be an aspect where you're overthinking things as well, or tend to be a bit of a worry aspect to worrying about certain things. I do find when we're dealing with Virgo energy that that there is this aspect of over worrying, and because we've got Mars in Virgo, it could be like we're wanting to move forward, but then we're overthinking it, and then we're hesitating, and then we're sort of staying still or moving back. So I feel like this might be this conflicting energy might be coming up here with this Mercury that's moving into Virgo while that's there. And that's something I feel like that we need to be careful of this week. But I do feel like we've got some really good trines that are coming in this week, also with Mars and even with like sort of the moon and some angles that are coming up here, which is all going to help you to motivate you and think more carefully about things too. Let's go to the caller now. So we've got here Michelle. She's in um, Bilton in America. So hi, in Wisconsin. So hi, Michelle. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. How can I help you today?
No, I would let you pick if you'd like. What do you feel?
Sorry?
Anything I need to know? Was there anything I need to know?
Okay. I just feel like energy is like quite. I don't know if you're feeling a bit down today. I just feel like your energy is feeling quite down. Um,
Right.
my energy just sort of went down. So I don't know if you've been feeling a bit down lately or if it's just today. But I also feel like there's a bit of curiosity there with you as well. Let's have a look. See what's happening with Michelle. Just connect to Michelle. I do see you changing your mind on something. It's like you're rearranging something out and then you're changing your mind. Or like you've got things in a certain way and then again it's a thing of changing your mind and a certain thing of like stop start with you. I feel like the reason why maybe you're not happy because things aren't going the way that they're meant to be going or that you want them to go. I feel like maybe you thought things were going to go a different way about a situation.
How, right. How about with me and Shane? How's that going to work out?
With what? Sorry,
I said, how about me and Shane? How is that going to work out?
Shane. Let's have a look. So it's your partner. Let's have a look and see. Okay. I feel like that's where we've been trying to work things out. Okay. 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 So I feel like with this person, you're waiting for something to happen. It hasn't been, I feel like it hasn't been like all roses. I do feel like there has been a bit of issues here in the relationship. I am hearing the word unfair. So I do feel like there's been some issues here that's been like unfair that has happened in this relationship as well. I feel like one of you is trying really hard to hang on to this relationship. And the other person, I feel like they're not trying as hard. And it's like, I feel like one person is sort of like, they they're not they don't care. I'm not care. Okay, so I do feel like with this, I am saying too, there is one person, I don't know if this is you or with him, that the people that are hanging around him is not, I want to say not the best. And he's listening to them too much, or I feel like it's him because he's listening to them too much too. And okay, okay. Feel like he's listening to either his friends or people around him. He's not listening to you. He's listening to other people here. And I kind of feel like as a relationship here, it's kind of stuck. I do feel like it's hit like a stag or it's kind of stagnant. I think that's coming up here too. And I feel like there needs to be a sense of freedom that comes into with this relationship, and a sense of there needs to be a sense of joy, and there needs to be more clarity as well. I feel like one person's very much open in what they all want, and the other person they're holding back still, and they aren't being as open. I just keep on hearing things aren't fair. So I feel like one person's not being fair. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on.
Okay. Um. Okay. Okay. I want to say the lured. We're lured here. Look, someone from the past might be coming back here. I feel like there's or if this relationship is not going to go well, where there's some sort of breakup, I do feel like that it could be a lure in back or someone trying to be like trying to get them to come back here if it's not going to go well. Because this card is standing out to me. And this card indicates to me that there could be somebody walking away here. But then I feel like there's this card here where it could be you lured back, and there is, again, I am feeling that there is an offer that's also coming up for you too. Okay, and I feel like that you don't want to waste opportunities. You're at that point now where you're done wasting things, and you just want to be able to move forward, and you want to move forward with this, I feel like with him. But this person he's stuck because he's listening to too many other people here. He's not listening to his heart. He's not listening to where, and I feel like I don't feel like it's you. I do feel like it's him, that he's making things more complicated than what it actually has to be. I am going to say,
I think so too.
sorry. I feel like that I'm going to say by the end of August, you've sorted things out, and for you, you know where you are heading, and you know what you're going to do. I feel like it's going to get to the point where you're just going to be like, look, I need this from you. If you can't do this, then you might even be on your way. I also feel like that there is a sense of having patience, but I also feel like maybe you're running out of patience too, because it's been a long time that you have been waiting on for this person. But I also know that what you've been manifesting, or what you've been sort of wishing, which I feel like there is like perhaps like marriage or family, whatever you're wishing, I do feel like when I see this card that it is gonna come true. It might be a little bit hard before you get there, but I do feel like you're gonna get there. And I feel like with this card, this could be within a year that I feel like this might come up for you as well.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, have any questions?
Oh, no, not really.
Okay. Well, I hope your day gets better, and I hope you have a good day. And thank you for calling in.
Thank you for your wisdom.
That's okay. That's okay. Thank you. Okay. So we're having these aspects that are coming up with the planets, and I feel like what's coming up now, even readings that I've been doing during the week for people, is that people are looking at relationships a lot, and I guess where they are heading. People are really starting to sort out what they're wanting, and we're doing a lot of Leo energy. It's coming here, and the Leo is about. When you meet a Leo, they're ruled by the sun, so it is about what they want and what they feel. And I feel like with this Leo energy that's coming in, it is coming up where people are really sort of looking at what they want to happen. Okay, if you want to contact me for a reading, you can. You can contact me on my website, Lady D Psychic Parties, or my Facebook page, which is the same. My Instagram and TikTok, which is Lady D as Psychic, and my YouTube, which is Lady D. If you can't find it underneath that, just Google Danielle Psychic to find me there. I do horoscopes and predictions too. Okay, thank you for your time, and I'll see you same place, same time next week. So bye for now.